Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Handicapper's Corner, brought to you by, as always, the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads, along with Drew Forster.
Yep.
We're going to go through the Sunday, May the 5th races, Cinco de Mayo.
Day two.
8 live races on tap, starting at 1:50, and fresh after the Kentucky Derby.
Yes.
We'll be back in action. Weather's supposed to be great. Let's get right into the action. Race number 1, the first half of the early doubles for maiden $16,000 fillies and mares, going 6 panels. I went to the 3-horse here, Waffles, a first-time starter by Fed Biz for Dino Condolinios, who always can get horses ready, always a high-percentage trainer with his first-timers, and always nice high percentage with any horses.
Yeah.
But this horse has been training well. Didn't hook the toughest of fields, I don't think, for her debut, and I'm going to give her a shot. And Antonio Reyes has done a lot of work for Dino this spring, and so he's going to get the call. And Enrique Gonzalez is on the 6, Calculating, who I think is probably going to be the favorite off of her 4th place run against maiden special weight runners, against the boys, actually. It's going to be her first start against the girls, just straight fillies. And she's been training well for a top outfit, so I thought she was very live as well. And I put the 4-horse Bad Girl in for 3rd for John Snow. Gets in light with Lenny Ciceran, 106 pounds, and has some speed. Might lead them on a merry chase because there isn't a ton of speed signed on in here, and she seems to be pretty good away from the gate. So I thought that was another alternative.
Yeah.
I went 3, 6, and 4.
I went to the 6, Calculating, as you mentioned, a filly that was running just strictly maiden special weights last year for a top outfit, Mark Luce. He can have him ready, does a great job on these, gets on his own horses, does a great job with them. Top jock, Enrique Gonzalez. I got Calculating on top. I went to the other Dino horse, Librarian. I like the fact that she had a start last year. She's a shrug out of that great mare Napa. This is a half to Merlot, Chianti, multiple winners. And attracts Amadeo Perez. Librarian for me in the 2nd spot. And I threw in Hard Rain for trainer Dave Forrester. A couple starts at 2. I like the fact that she had a couple starts. He's generally good with horses going into the 3-year-old year, and goes on Lasix for the first time, and that could give her a bit of an upside. Scott Williams rides number 1, Hard Rain, named after the great Bob Dylan song. 6, 2, and 1 for me in the 1st. On to the 2nd, a 3 and up $4,000 non-2 event for Colts and Geldings. Going 6 furlongs, field of 7 here. I went to the 6, Indicative, horse for Kerry Raven. Scott Williams rides this one. A couple good seconds in in a 10,000 and a 10 non-2 at Turf Paradise. Ran on April 9th. Fitness factor could have a big advantage here in this, a horse that's been running. I got Indicative on top of Tequila Cowboy, another horse that was at Turf Paradise, ran on the 9th. And an official 20 now shows up here for 4 non-2 with Reyes aboard. And I threw in Red Buffalo. Jockey Jeff rides number 4, Red Buffalo in the 3rd spot. Good second behind Aurora de Oro, who's an invader, showed up in her last race last year. That was a tough one. Was clear of the 3rd horse, Unleashed. 6, 3, 4 for me in the 2nd.
Yeah, I went Red Buffalo. I'm going to try Red Buffalo for John Lavallee and Jeff Birmingham. I think this horse, those last 2 races were very good. Just ran into good horses. Glenn Todd's Aurora de Oro and Prado's Way. The race before.
2 tough ones. Yeah.
Like, those are tough races. I just... You know, but you're right. The Indicative and has a big and Tequila Cowboy, both have
been running,
racing fitness edge. But Red Buffalo has the speed, I think, and there's no speed in this race. And I just think he's going to get the lead. I went Red Buffalo over the 6, Indicative, and I put the 7-horse Postman in for 3rd. Those are the 3 horses. I got to go 4, 6, and 7 in race number 2. Under the 3rd race, Maiden 4 Grander going 6 furlongs. Tough to get by. Spokane's Gem, not too sure. 50 grand down to 4 shows up here.
I've seen this move before.
Yes, I know.
It's a high percentage move.
Yeah, things go well. But Spokane's Gem, definitely the horse to beat. Has speed, has the rail. Racing against inferior. I mean, he's the best horse in the race. 4-year-old winning his 3-year-olds. Spokane's Gem for me. Over the 7 Transplant. If Spokane's Gem doesn't win, I think the 7 Transplant would be your next horse. Good races last year. At the end, kind of got caught up in a bit of a speed duel last time to lose to Kryptonotus and Penny for Gold. But I like the way the horses worked. Good final prep in 59 and 3. Keyshawn Gobin rides. And I put the 5-horse Bill Smokin' Bullet for Phil Hall. This is a private purchase for Peter Reddicock. Since his last race for the Bill Morey barn, Peter actually had horses with Bill Morey. Appalachie Bay, which we saw run on Saturday. But this horse is... the form isn't great last time out, but 2 starts back, definitely good enough to win in here. 175.
I agree with the 1, Spokane's Gem. This is a best bet of the day type horse for me.
You're getting 3 to 5, but what are you going to do? You're going to
as long as they win, I'll take 4 to 5 if they win. As long as they win. I agree. Bill Spoken Bullet, I put in the second spot. A horse that's been running, and
another one.
I think you could really see, especially after this weekend, we'll have a really good idea of how big of a factor that is. I think it's going to be something that you're going to want to go to. Bill Spoken Bullet, as you mentioned, Top Connections, Phil Hall, Amadeo Perez in second. I threw in Maven's horse, Kindergarten Grader. Was running good last year. When it was running in this type of races, it was running in those 2-year-old maiden 12.5s, which is bottoms for 2-year-olds. Was running good races, then ran in the Ascot, ran in the BC Cup Nursery. Didn't disgrace himself in there either. So in for 4, first out this year with Jeff Birmingham. I threw him in to round out my try. I went 1, 5, and 3. In the third, on to the fourth. $16,000 claimant event for 3 and up. Colts and Geldings.
Good race.
It is a very good race. It's some very nice horses in here. I went to the 5. The odds are good. Just seems to own the 16,000 level. Anyone's for 16.
He's money.
Super tough. 9-time winner out of 36 starts. Won 3 of 8 last year. Every time at the 16,000 level. Been training forwardly for this. Mel Snow has had this horse throughout his career. Does
all 9 wins are for 16. It seems like.
Yeah, like when he's 16, he's like right on the money. When he's 25,
he just can't
it's
quite,
a little too deep.
Someone can grab
16, boom. And I'm going to go for him to win this over the 2 Appellant. Another one that's been running, ran on the 3rd of April. Going to be a big factor in here with Danny Velasquez aboard for Glenn Todd. Owner, trainer, and breeder of this one, Appellant. And I threw in another Phoenix horse, Metal Magic, for Steve Hansen. Amadeo Perez gets the call. Another one, wasn't crazy about his last race, but the races, the 2 back before that, run very good. Should be competitive here. He's getting 70 buyers. That should put him in the mix here for 16. I went 5, 2, and 3.
Yeah, I agree with the odds are good. This horse is definitely the one to respect in here. Has speed. There is other speed in the race. Metal Magic's very fast. Omega Victory's very fast. So he's got a couple of grays to his inside that are very quick. And Silvertown, another gray, is going to. They're all gray. 4 grays that have the speed. If you look for the front end, there's going to be 4 grays.
Got the gray
out there. But the odds are good is probably the fastest of them and going to be tough to catch. But the 6-horse Twist Grips, who didn't win a race last year, but he had 3 seconds, 3 thirds. If there is a pace stool, Twist Grips is your best closer and going to be tough. And same with the 4. Ace Deuce is always a good grinder. Last time the horse won was with Reyes, and he's back aboard. He's been training well this spring. Is he a greatest sprinter? Probably not. That's
why I stayed away from him. I want to see him go longer.
6 furlongs is not his distance, but maybe if there's a pace stool, might be able to sneak into the tries. But anyway, the odds are good horse to beat. 5, 6, 4 in race number 4. On to the 5th race, $4,000 fillies and mares. Going 6 panels in here. I went to the 3, yes, please. This horse would be in for about 12.5 if they didn't have this waiver claiming.
Yes.
And the horse has really taken full advantage of it almost to embarrassment. But this will be the 4th consecutive start running
one more
protected.
time without a price? Yes,
please. Definitely working well again for Mark. And the horse is just very dangerous. The 5-horse, Don't Tell Judy, is another one. Waiver claimed and won in 17 and changed to close out the year. It was a quick track, defeating Lady Cash and Shayla's Rose. But still, this horse is dangerous at this level at all times. 3 for 7 here at Hastings. And the 8-horse Seeking Bull, I put in a newcomer for Glenn Todd, coming from Oaklawn Park, racing in the Midwest.
Chuck 50 bred.
Yep. And bunch of decent work since arriving, so thought that one was worth a look as well. Don't want to leave it out. 358. I didn't see a whole lot else. Maybe 7
Halloween
chances.
Queen.
Halloween Queen. I know, tough draw. Won 6. I left out the 4 and 10, and then even the 2. Arbinian Rose throws in some good races once in a while at this level. But I went 358.
I'm with you. Yes, please. Looks deadly in here. As you mentioned, she gets to run at the 4,000 level, protected again. Top Connections, Mark Cluche, Amadeo Perez. 6, never been out of the money. Ran 3rd, first start, her second start, and just reeled off 4 wins after that last year. Should be very tough in here. I put Seeking Bull, the horse that Glenn Todd claimed at Churchill last fall, actually on Halloween. Came back, ran a really good race for 5 at Turfway Park. That should put her in the mixer. And I agree, Don't Tell Judy, another Phil Hall. Enrique Gonzalez horse, finished off the year last year with a win at this price. Should be tough. And I'm with you. Honorable mention to Halloween Queen. I went 3, 8, and 5 in the 5th. On to the 6th, maiden special weight for fillies and mares, going 6 furlongs. Field of 10 in here, a couple on the alsos as well.
Couple waiting to get in.
And I did go to the 10. I know it's a brutal post position going 6 furlongs, but Chrissy looks to be very tough in here. Was favored throughout her 2-year-old year. Ran 5 times, 4 times she was the favorite. The only time she wasn't favored was in the Sadie Diamond Futurity, making a good account of herself.
Yeah, good third.
Yeah, never ran off the board. 5 starts, 2 seconds and a third. Amadeo Perez aboard. Chrissy for me on top of Celerity. Those are the 2 I really like in here. Celerity ran a very good second behind Blondie in a maiden special weight in her last start back on the 8th of October. Training forward leaf for this for RJ Bennett. Those are the 2 I like, 8 and 10. And I threw in Snappy Ginger, a horse that was running, in good races last year behind GMT Baby and whatnot. Another one second for maiden special weight, third for maiden special weight. Training forward, he gets Hamill. 10, 8, and 7 for me.
Yeah, I wanted the 1 in here, Lady LaRue. I'm going to give the 4-year-old a chance to defeat these horses. Chase them. They've been running as the boys in our last 2 starts going along last year. 23-4, 47 flat, 111 and 4. I mean, you're chasing these kind of crazy fractions. Even the race prior, we're all very. Those are good races, and her sprints were okay behind Dory's Darlin and Trooper Jenny, and prior to that, Bear and Dory's Darlin again. But I just thought, with nice draw going 6. Lightweight for a 4-year-old. Actually gets weight from some of the 3-year-olds, which is kind of cool. The Kentucky breds anyway. But I thought Lady LaRue was worth a look. I agree with the 10. Chrissy, a true Dino Condolinos bred. He owns it, bred it. Trained the sire, trained the mare.
Yeah, exactly.
He's
all over.
He's got his handprints all over Chrissy, and she had a great season last year. Didn't win a race, but I didn't get any favors with the 10-hole, and that's the only reason I didn't just jump all over her. And I put the 8-horse Celerity in for third. Good runner-up effort to Blondie in her second start of her career. She's worked really good this spring. She's worth a look as well. I left out Snappy Ginger, and of course on the alsos, if Amazonian gets in, look out! Look out! This filly can run, and she may get in if there is a scratch, but don't leave out the 11 Amazonian.
Yeah, if she gets in, watch out.
Yeah, I went 1, 10, and 8, the ones that are actually in the body of the race. On to the 7th, maiden special weight for the boys here, 3-year-olds and upwards. I went to the 4 Whiskey Bound. Pretty impressed with his races last year. He was unlucky not to win. Got in a little trouble in the sales stake when running 4th, and then ran a good second to Explode, who came back to win the Ascot graduation in his next start. And I think he's the best in here. Put the 3-horse Reprimand. Don't know too much about the horse, but he is by Orb out of a Medagliadoro mare. Just had the 1 run going 3.5 behind the filly, 1 for Mom, but still ran a decent 4th. Been working well for a top outfit, so I thought Reprimand was the next best, and I put the 5-horse Solution Harbor for Peter Redekop and Phil Hall. This horse also in a lot of stakes action. Went to Century around 3rd there behind Purple Storm and Smarty River Pants, and still ran against some tough company last year, Aleutian Harbor, and might certainly appreciate the class relief to get into maiden company. I'm going to go 4, 3, and 5. I thought those were your horses.
Don't have much to add. I liked Whiskey Bound off that second behind Explode last year. In his final start, of course, Explode will run on Saturday as one of the favorites in the 3-year-old boy stakes. So Whiskey Bound for me under Amadeo Perez. For Kim Peacock and Lance.
I hope they come out. Hope Kim and Lance are coming out.
Yes.
Haven't heard yet. But
come on out, get out of the snow.
Yeah,
and I agree with Reprimand. Got Reprimand in the second spot. Top connections, as you mentioned. Well-bred son of Orb. I like the fact that he had a race last year. Should move forward in his 3-year-old year. And I agree, Aleutian Harbor. Peter Redekop's horse. Peter Redekop owned and bred. Son of Harbor the Gold. Good third behind Century Downs in a stake. In his final start last year, Richard Hamill gets called. 4, 3, and 5, same horses, same order as Mike's picks in the 7th. On to the 8th. 8 non-3 for older boys. Field of 7. I went to the 2, Mustachio for trainer Rob Maven. Good second behind a tough horse in Sheriff Clark in his last start last year. That was going long, but his sprints are okay. He broke his maiden for maiden 25, going 6.5 in his second start last year. So as I mentioned before, I think Maven's horse is going to be ready to run this year. You get Scott Williams aboard. I put the 2-horse Become an Insider for trainer Kerry Raven. Denny Velasquez rides. You go back in that 10 non-3 3 starts ago, opened up, just got caught late behind a horse Evolve that came back to win. A little bit off form in his last race, but looks like he's training forwardly here. Danny Velasquez rides. Number 5 becoming an insider in the second spot, and I threw in Always Sunny, who's always tough. 2 good seconds at this level in his last 2 starts behind Prado's Way and Fireman, and he could fire a big shot with Amadeo Perez aboard. Nice 47-4 final tune-up for this. I went 2, 5, and 7.
Yeah, I was between the 2, 3, and 7 actually, but I went to the 3 Coat of Arms. I think he's the speed of the race, and he's going to be tough going 6. Work tab's been excellent. Keishan Bell-Gobin, since arriving here at Hastings, has been getting on horses for Paddy Leaney, so not surprising that he gets the call on this one. And the horse did carry his speed and go long, and even last year. But he can sprint. He's very fast. I put the 2 Mustachio and the 7 Always Sunny in behind. Actually put Always Sunny in for second. 2 for 21 lifetime, but still he hits the board a lot. Boy,
yeah, he does. He's
running in some tough non-316s throughout his career. And every time he seems to be in for 8, someone runs a little bit better. But he's always dangerous, and Mustachio is as well. He had a good season last year for Robin Sheena-Mabe, and he's live. Good draw on post 2, and he'll be a force. I think you need all 3 of them, though. But I had to go 3, 7, and 2 to close out the Sunday afternoon program at Hastings. Next up on screen will be a recap of our selections. Back up in race number 1, I did go to the 3 Waffles over the 6 and 4. Race number 2, I went to the 4 Red Buffalo over the 6 and 7. Race number 3, I went to the 1 big class dropper Spokane's Gem. Going to go 1, 7, 5. Race number 4, I went to the 5. The odds are good. Going to go 5, 6, and 4. Race number 5, the 3. Yes, please. Looking for a pile of them in a row. I think it's about 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Going to go 3, 5, and 8 in the 5th. Race number 6, the 1 Lady LaRue over the 10 Chrissy. Going to go 1, 10, and 8. Race number 7. I went to the 4 Whiskey Bound. Going to go 4, 3, and 5. And in the finale, I went to the 3 Coat of Arms. Going to go 3, 7, and 2.
On my picks, back in the first, I went to the 6 Calculating over the 2 and the 1. The second, I went to the 6 again, number 6 Indicative over the 3 and the 4. The third, I agree with Mike. Actually, the next 3 were together. I like the 1 Spokane's Gem. Looks to be a handful in here.
Chalkier day, a little more formful, I think. On
these ones look
Saturday
pretty tough. Spokane's Gem over the 5 and the 3 and the 4th. Number 5, the odds are good over the 2 and the 3 and the 5th. Number 3, yes, please, over the 8 and the 5. In the 6, I went to the outside, the 10, Chrissy, over the 8 and the 7. In the 7th, number 4, Whiskey Bound, over the 3 and the 5. And the nightcap, I went to Rob Bateman's number 2, Mustachio, over the 5 and the 7.
All right, that'll do it for the Sunday, May the 5th edition of Handicapper's Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. Once again, thanks everyone for tuning in. We appreciate you taking time out of your day and hopefully we've given you a little insight to the opening weekend of racing action. We look forward to...
right, Mike likes Baffert in the Derby.
Yeah, I know, imagine that.
That's a hot tip.
Look forward to reconvening next weekend on Saturday, May the 11th, and Sunday, May the 12th. So we have once again, we'll be racing next Saturday and Sunday. First race is
150.
150. Go Bobby Baffert. I know I'm on the Baffert team. I should wear my white hair wig or something. Mind you, the way my hair is going, it might be that color.
Exactly.
On behalf of Drew, thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you next time here on Handicapper's Corner at the Derby Bar and Grill.
I got the horse right here, the name is Paul Revere, and here's a guy that says if the weather's clear, can do